Hey, my pretties, what's up? It's the Queen of Lions here. So now we're at episode 194 of Shadows and Pretties, and today we are going to be doing a review on this movie that came out about 12 years ago in 2010 called Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Now, this movie came out in 2010. It does have a series of a few live-action films, and this is based on the book series. Like, most of you guys probably were remembering being kids and used to read, the Diary of the Wimpy Kid, books as a young kid, that they were written by Jeff Patrick Kinney, who did the whole stories of him. So, of course, we have the film Diary of the Wimpy Kid, which came out in 2010. We also have Diary of the Wimpy Kid 2, also known as Roderick Rules, Dog Days, The Long Haul, and we also have another animated one called Diary of the Wimpy Kid, the animated movie, which I do plan to do one in the future. So, I'm going to talk about the 2010 live-action movie, and I will be doing the sequels eventually. Like, I'll be doing them whenever I decide to do them, which I don't know when I'll do them, because I haven't seen them in a while. And this is one of the recent ones I just recently rewatched for the first time in a few years. I mean, I remember reading the Diary of the Wimpy Kid books as a kid, like years ago. I'm surprised I haven't done a Shadows and Pretties episode of it yet. I'm surprised I haven't done one on this topic yet. So, well, here I go. I'm doing it on this topic because, well, why not? So, anyways, I think we should get started. So, the production of this began sometime in September of 2009, and it was completed in October, so basically it was almost a month in the production. The film was directed by Forfenteril and starred Zachary Gordon as Greg Heffley, and we do have, his family and etc. So, anyways, I guess with that being the case and that being said, let me go on for, about what this movie is about, especially for those who haven't seen, the movie in like a while or will just want a refresher. So basically, this is about a 11-year-old boy named Craig Heffley, who is apprehensive about beginning of middle school. So on the first day, he discovers ups and downs such as missing stall doors in the boys' bathroom and difficulties of obtaining the seat during lunch. During PE class, Greg and his best friend, Rowley Jefferson, escape from a game indicator from having their friend, Craig Gopata, and about a moldy piece of cheese that was on the basketball court that makes anyone who touches it an outcast, and the only way to get rid of what is known as the cheese touch is to pass it on to someone else. They also met Angie Steedman, a 7th grader who isolates herself from the other students to survive. Greg states his intention of becoming the most popular student in school. I mean, I read the books maybe when I was 10 or 11 years old, and I honestly have to say they were pretty good books. Especially when I was younger growing up. I mean, I know they came out in the mid-late 2000s, the books, but I still found them enjoyable nevertheless. So, for those of you who want to watch the movie, I would recommend watching this movie because it's a pretty good movie, especially if you like Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Why did I even think it was Diary of a Wimpy Kid? I mean, someone pronounced diary as in diarrhea. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I mean, that's kind of funny. But anyway, moving on. On Halloween, while Greg and Rowley are out trick-or-treating, a group of teenage boys drive up in a pickup truck and spray a fire extinguisher at them. So when Greg threatens to call the police, the boy chases him and Rowley down to Greg's grandmother's house, but the later to escape after Greg accidentally damages the truck. So the boys join on safety patrol and try out for the contest that offers the students a chance to become a new cartoonist for the school paper. Greg accidentally breaks Rowley's arm, making Rowley popular. He also wants to be the cartoonist contest. So during a safety patrol assignment, Greg walks to the kindergartens down the neighborhood street without Rowley, but panics when he encounters a truck identical to the teens from Halloween, hides the kids in the construction zone. However, after being spotted by a neighbor who mistakes them for Rowley, he abandons frightens the kindergartners and flees. To his bewilderment, Rowley is still suspended from safety patrol, but Greg eventually confesses the truth. Distraught at Greg's mistreatment of him, Rowley ends their friendship, and Greg is dismissed from the safety patrol while Rowley is reinstated as captain. Greg gets replaced by their classmate Colin, who is also known as Rowley's best friend. So one day at recess, Greg and Rowley loudly confronted each other in the circle of students, encourages them to fight. However, neither of them is good at fighting. So the teenage boys from Halloween arrive at the scene and force Rowley to eat a particular cheese after the other kids, except for Greg, who is chased inside the school. They flee from the scene when the school's gym teacher, Coach Malone, arrives, but when the other kids back out and notice that cheese has been eaten, Greg takes the blame to save Rowley's reputation, mending their friendship. So at the end of the school year, Greg and Rowley make a yearbook class favorites as the cutest friends, and thus how the movie ends. So, now there is a book based on this, there is a few books that, had a really good, setup for Diary of the Wimpy Kid. I mean, a lot of kids, remember reading these books as a kid. I especially remember reading them when I was a kid growing up. So, the tie-in a book, which was also known as Diary, the Wimpy Kid Movie Diary, which entitled on book written by Kenny, called The Wimpy Kid Movie Diary, was published in March 16th of 2010. So it includes the film stilts and storyboards, primarily concept drawings, and also behind the scenes of information of humorously chronicle, making Diary of the Wimpy Kid, also known as, Diary of the Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules. And, of course, Dog Days, which came out later, with some new illustrations. So, of course, this film was released on Blu-ray and DVD, and I could definitely say, the film won an overall rating, and obviously, it is a pretty good movie for what it is. We do have some other film sequels. One came out in 2011, known as Roderick Rules, and, another one called Dog Days that came out later, and eventually, also known as The Long Haul. But, of course, there is, the animated reboot of this film that came out in 2001. So, with all due honesty, I still think that, this movie, honestly, has a pretty good, it's really good. I haven't seen the movie in, a while, but I honestly have to say, when I read the Diary of the Wimpy Kid stories, the books as a kid, I started to really like how well made they were. They're pretty popular, especially around that time, and I actually really enjoyed it. We got great cast and crew, and the storyline was flat out amazing, and it honestly was well made. However, about the 2021 remake of it, which I do plan to maybe do that in the future, but I'm going to sit here and say that will be for whenever I decide to do so. So, anyways, with that being the case, and with that being said, I definitely have to sit here and say, I really like, the cast and crew. I like the concept of how, it went out, as well as the good, characters. The acting was really amazing too. I like the acting. So I definitely gotta say it's a pretty good movie. So I recommend for those who are fans of, this movie to go watch it, because yeah, it's pretty good. So when I first watched it, I honestly thought it was a pretty good movie, and it honestly was really great. So I definitely would have to say it's definitely one of the great ones out there. And I recommend you guys, take a look at this movie if you haven't. And you are free to, you could state your own opinions in this. If you don't like the movie, that's fine. If you don't like the books, completely understandable. I really understand, because it's just your opinion. So, yeah. It's honestly a pretty good concept, and it's well made in detail. It's honestly, I have to say, with the book series is pretty good. Although I haven't read the books in a while, I also haven't read the movie. I haven't watched the movies in a while either. So I do consider, taking a look at it if I ever get the time and the chance to. But I guess with that being said, I guess we'll have to see if anything happens. But anyways, with that being said, with that being the case, this is just simply my own personal opinion. And if you happen to disagree with me, that's perfectly fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to these movies. This is just simply my own personal thoughts. And my final rating of this story is definitely going to get it's a 10 out of 10. It's a pretty good movie. Really good based on the series. And if you like the Diary of the Wimpy Kid series, feel free to, watch the movie or read the books if you haven't read them in like a while. Which, I mean, I haven't read the books in a while, and I do really need to get back to reading them. I mean, I haven't read them since elementary school, so, I mean, this brings a bit of nostalgia down the road, but I still found it enjoyable. So, anyways, I guess I'm going to have to sit there and say this is just my own personal opinion, and if you happen to disagree with me, that's perfectly fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to these movies. You are free to state your own thoughts and opinions. If you don't like this movie, that's perfectly fine. If you like it, that's cool. I respect your opinion regardless. So, I guess that being said, what did you guys think about this movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make the movie a lot better, feel free to leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you're new here, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications to when I upload. And as always, please roll the outro because wait a second. There's no outro for this. I don't know. My brain just doesn't want to work today for some reason for certain words. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.